Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm so glad we're talking about this topic. Did you know that junk food compromises the dopamine system, which in turn makes it easier to give up when taking on harder tasks? It kind of makes you lazy. How does this disconnect translate to working out and trying to lose weight?
Well, we want to welcome Dr. Fab Mancini, who's the author of The Power of Self-Healing, because he's got some tips on how to tackle this kind of challenge. Welcome back. It's good to see you. So you're basically telling me I can't eat junk food because then I'm just going to be a lazy person that's never going to make money and get anything accomplished. Is that correct? Is that what I'm hearing?
And interview done. Thanks for coming.
You said it all right there. You know, the main thing is that there's a new study that just came out. All of us are trying to figure out what is causing obesity, because it's a big challenge in our world today.
It's this exercise. It's hand to mouth.
Well, but most people always thought that it was the lazy people, that because they were lazy, they were obese. But now the new study at the UCLA Institute of Health, they're saying that it's not the laziness, it's the fact of what they're eating is the one that is causing the laziness, which is leading to the obesity.
So it's kind of like which came first, the chicken or the egg? Like, does laziness lead to obesity?
Right.
Or is it the other way around, that maybe like we're lazy when it comes to making good food choices?
Well, what we have to find out is, why are we lazy? You know, our natural status in health is not to be lazy, it's to be active. But if we're eating the wrong foods, especially foods that are high in sugar, and that's what this study was all about. They took two groups of rats. One, they gave a high sugar diet. The other one, they didn't. And they found out that the leading cause of the obesity of those rats was that it made them lazy because it impacted the dopamine system, but also impacted the hippocampus.
Okay, so what should we be eating? I mean, it's very easy to say just cut out sugar, but then also some carbs your body reads as sugar. So how do we know what to eat?
Well, the main thing is to, like, I give you an example. Most of us have children, and we're looking at the fact that our children are getting a little bit obese. So I had a patient named Charlie, and Charlie was actually 40 pounds overweight. So what we did with the parents is that we began to substitute, and that's really the key word here, is substitute some of the things that he was eating. So he loves sodas, so we started getting like carbonated water, and we started adding lemons. We started adding orange. He liked the orange more than the lemon. And then he started drinking that and substituting the sodas. Then he liked ice cream, and we started putting like frozen berries or frozen grapes. And then he loved those, and then now he doesn't like the ice cream anymore. He looks for the frozen, and he lost almost 28 pounds in a short period of time, almost 2 months, just by doing that.
Wow.
Now, would you say a lot of people credit poor eating choices to maybe it's expensive to eat healthy, and it's expensive to, you know, I think there have been a lot of studies done that it compares kind of demographics and class, kind of the class systems, you know, throughout how much money they make, to obesity. Do you think that that kind of can contribute to that as well?
I don't think necessarily it's just the pricing. It's just the fact that it's the habits that we have built, right? We have over 50,000 fast food chains in the United States. Everywhere you
I've
turn,
been to all of them.
everywhere you turn, you see one. So you think it's easier to go through them instead of maybe making a smoothie at home, which is a lot easier, a lot more time consuming.
Sometimes Chick-fil-A just tastes so good.
It doesn't, and as soon as you stop eating it, you'll
But also you have some substitutes in some of these fast food chains that you can start replacing the French fries with the apples, or instead of the sodas, do a fruit juice or something.
And I think what's interesting, too, about this study is that for people to realize that there's sugar in everything. And it's interesting that you bring that up, Courtney, about it's easier sometimes to eat that food because the processed food is convenient, but the processed food is also laden with sugar and unhealthy fats. And it's we saw some chart the other day of like during the Great Depression, how they started to make the processed foods then. And from then to now, it's just skyrocketed with obesity and diabetes and cancers, and it's just
the processed foods just makes our foods taste a little bit better, but also they last longer in the shelves. So when you go to the grocery stores, you notice that most of the aisles are full of processed foods rather than the small little section over here with the fruit and vegetables. And that's what we need to condition ourselves to start looking at that, so that way those aisles could be bigger instead of just the processed food.
So kind of a quick call to action would be, how can you and how can people feel inspired to have the courage to make better choices when it comes to not reaching for the junk food and understanding that that does maybe go hand in hand with laziness?
Well, the main thing is to do an assessment of what you're eating right now. You know, making sure that you pay attention to what you're feeding for breakfast, what you're eating for lunch, what you're eating for dinner, and then gently just start making some substitutions that are a little bit healthier. And of course, fruit and vegetables are always going to be the winners.
Awesome.
Those are easy fixes.
That is easy too.
It's just,
like,
it's such a make sense sort of thing. So the name of Dr. Fabrizio Mancini's book is The Power of Self-Healing. It is available on his website at bookstores and on Amazon, and in many languages now, by the way. You're
9 languages. I'm so excited.
Traveling to Rome tomorrow. It's very exciting. We will have this link at thebroadcasttv.com.
Okay, awesome. And when we come back, we are in the kitchen with Chef Garth Blackburn from Sub-Zero Wolf. You know, it's always a great recipe when he's here. You'll want to stick around for this.
This is so good. I'm so glad we decided to talk about that.